but I'm saying
I'm not saying whether to mess with it or not. Look, this is the number one thing for anybody that's looking for advice from somebody else. First, assess your situation.
Okay.
If I don't know your situation and I try to tell you how to resolve your situation without understanding it, I'm giving you bad advice and bad information.
Go ahead.
But as soon as I can understand exactly what you're saying about your situation, where you come from, then I could give you the resources that help you figure out what you're doing. But everybody got to know their situation, right? Secure your own asset first. Secure the self first. Right? That means if you paying mortgage and you don't know nothing about this stuff we talking about, keep paying your mortgage so you don't have to deal with the foreclosure process. But if you understand what's going on and you want to take your risk to start paying your mortgage, be aware that we don't know how long this gonna last, so we don't know how long you got to stop paying your mortgage. Or else we could tell you 90 days is how many you got to be at least 3 months behind before they initiate a foreclosure.
Yeah, and then for the insurance will pay the bank off whatever your note was. Say if your note was $400,000, they'll pay the AIG pays off that note because the bank get it insured. Yeah, so they gonna get the money no matter what, and then they foreclose your house still, and that's really the illegal part. The illegal part is them selling your contract without your knowledge, like selling that note or selling that particular.
That's the same thing. Credit card. Have you ever get called from a bill collector?
Yeah, right. That's fact.
Once they sold your credit, your debt instrument to somebody else, it settles the debt with you.
Yep, that's illegal. Yep,
it automatically look. If they didn't ask you to switch it over to an arbitrator and they just sent it to a third party, they said, hey, we don't accept the debt no more. If they pay you, they pay you. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah. But you know, they slick now, Rod. They put in the contract for you sign it. The first one there, if you forfeit this contract, you agree to us selling it to somebody else. They get slick and add that in the small print in the bottom. But you know what I'm saying? It's still ways you can get out of it by how you sign it. If you sign it in a trust, or if you sign it in, certain ways you can sign to where you won't be directly reliable for as your particular straw man won't be directly and reliable to it. But this is the thing I was gonna ask you next. And we're gonna take questions from the crowd. We got about 6 more minutes. We'll take questions from the crowd, and then we'll go into that. This is my last question before I start taking questions from the crowd. Now, like I say, Donald Trump is doing his thing. He going in, he smacking folks around, running folks off. Like I said, the federal workers
running the country like death row.
Yeah, right. Pretty much, he going in like death row. He talking about getting everybody tax cuts straight into some of the rigmarole and some of the systems, some of these foreign agencies that have been collecting and getting over on the American people. So after Trump cleaning all this up, do you think that he'll turn on the American people and start becoming like a dictator?
I had a conversation with you, and you like, nah, the black people wasn't the Neanderthal. So
when the Neanderthal was present, they was here before the original race called the moon race. Today we call them white people. But back then we used to call them albinos. Albions, right? They wasn't here. If you look up the time frame, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to it so I can tell you. We know from historical record there was no pale faces on planet Earth before 8,400 years ago.
So they're a young race. They got fresh legs.
Yeah, the newest race.
New kids on the block.
Yeah. So the Homo sapiens, the hominin species that existed for at least 200,000 years throughout Europe and Western Asia and disappeared 27,000 years ago. So that was 8,500 years ago from 27,000. That's about 18,000 years before paleface emerged. The last Neanderthal was here. Right. All peoples on the planet Earth was melanated, and it was intervention in laboratories that caused the lower spectrum of the DNA to outwardly express. Everything that you see in the human arena is on the DNA of the great mother, the first mother. All of your DNA traits, the full spectrum, from your lightest skin to your darkest skin, from your tightest curl hair to your straightest hair, it's all in her DNA. Right? Bobby Hemmings said it was a woman walking around with universes in her uterus in America.
Mm-hmm.
And when y'all figure out who she is, she's the mother of all of us. She don't take no sides in sibling rivalry. She tell y'all to sort that stuff out, and y'all come to me when y'all know how to act right. We got to get over this racist doctrine because it's a critical mechanism of divide and conquer.
Right.
And as Dr. Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand white supremacy is a military strategy. If you don't understand white supremacy, everything that you think you understand is actually confusing.
Yes. Okay.
White supremacy is codified and called the protocols of the wise men or the learned elders of Zion. And the rollout to it is the morals and dogma of Albert Pike. The battleground is the corporation known as the United States, the interim government for the last hurrah of the Great War.
Which is the Great War, which is
the 6,000-year reign of the people that was antithesis to Earth, the inverted people from the mirror universe.
So even when we the fifth root race they say is the Aryans. So even the Aryans, original Aryans, were melanated people then.
They still is. The original Aryans, they called them the Untouchables of India. They call them Dravidians. They look like the Jackson 5s from the early 70s. They whole bloodline. Some of them got wavy hair and they dark. Some of them darker than us. Rich, make me and you look light skinned.
Oh man, this is some. All right, so another term. You seen the video with Noble Ample, and he mentioned Abraham Lincoln. Now, people said he was a Melungian. That's not a term we hear about anymore. What are Melungians, Rod Hayes? And who were the Melungians?
See, there's so many different names. It's hard to keep up with them. That one is not one we use a lot. Yeah, see, those was just another name for mixed people. People that come from a diversified genetic stock. It's like calling them a mutt.
Mulatto, like okay. The current term for that would be mulatto.
No, mulatto, you could be 50%, and you can look heavily melanated or lightly melanated and be a mulatto.
Right.
That means you have 50%. Right, to be a quadroon, meaning you 1/4. To be an octoroon, meaning you 1/8. But remember, the doctrine is 1 drop of blood. Right. So even if you 1/8, you still could classify as so-called black.
Yeah, you mentioned Elvis some earlier. Somebody said Elvis was Melungian. Would you classify him as Melungian, Elvis?
He would easily fall in it. That was the name given to the people that mixed in the Appalachians region.
Right. Indeed. Yeah, this is wow. I'm glad having this conversation with you. Let me ask you, in terms of the when I think you called it the flash flood, or when the ice age.
Yeah, that was after the war. That was the nuclear winter after the last Anunnaki Great Holocaust War.
Okay, a time frame. We're looking at 10,000 years. 10,000 years ago, Rod.
Yeah, you can just look up the beginning of the last ice age to give you the time frame.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, well, I'm an artist, first off, and I've been getting a lot of like downloads through my art. Like what I've noticed is like my art has like a foreshadowing effect. So like it's been like a lot of downloads regarding portals or like eyes or like, what's the word? What else? It's been a couple of things, or like just a couple of situations that I've been like putting together, kind of like.
So when you do performing your art, you channeling the what they call Shakti energy, divine feminine, right? And you're gonna always get spirit messages in anything that's artistic. So like I can actually look at pictures people write and see something entirely different than the rest of the world.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because I'll read it like a tarot card where other people look at it, oh, that's a beautiful scenery. I like how the ocean smashed against the rocks or whatever the case may be.
Right.
But I'm reading it like a tarot card because it's a projection that came from the subconscious mind and it was guided by the energy of Shakti. Right. So now when I'm looking at it, I'm reading the subconscious mind, Shakti, and it's translating what spirit is saying through this person is this.
Okay.
You know, so each one of your pictures tell a different story.
Right. You know, recently, even what you were talking about, like, I don't know, because I know you live, what, like 30 minutes from me. And the other day, even like, I was in the
You
car.
in Detroit?
Huh?
You in Detroit?
Metro Detroit, like the outside of Detroit.
You know where Pontiac at, right?
My dad worked out there. And even what they did to Pontiac was the way this whole everything is just crazy. But I was in the car with my friend the other day and we just driving or whatever, and we hear this noise, like this weird, crazy, like extraterrestrial sounding noise, and we both just look up and we like, what? And then we kind of like later on that night, it was just like a lot of things in the sky that we were just noticing and stuff like that, and we both heard this like loud boom. And I remember when you were on live with Amani a while ago, and you kind of, when you called me that day and I was talking about how, or you were talking about how like you kept hearing a bunch of booms and
oh, that boom, yeah, that
yeah. And the other day it happened again, and I'm like, okay, so it's just all the synchronicities been coming up. And even what you were talking about like on the 7th, it was funny because I just started this piece today, this one right here, and it's not finished yet, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna just finish it on the 7th. And then I tapped into your live and you were talking about what was going on the 7th and the 8th.
Go back to that picture. Let me tell you what I see.
Okay.
You see the blue?
Mm-hmm.
I got a video a couple months ago, and I said that it's going to start on the West Coast. We're going to see a sea of blue. And in the middle of the sea of blue, we're going to be a river of red. It was going to be Crips on both sides, and the bees was going to be bee walking up the middle. Right? And you painted the picture. That's the picture that, because the blue water is the Crips, the red river is the Bloods.
Right.
And we gonna drown their ass in bloods up to the horse's bridle with this apocalyptic fuck the police recital.
Man. even that, it's just crazy how everything been coming about. And recently I've been trying to work on, it's just this like thing of like ego, and I've been trying to like, you know, because the more I know, it's like, okay, I don't want to be like a, you know, somebody who just
yeah, so they reporting booms in the comments from different parts of the country. One person said Chicago, one said Oregon. You know, so we ain't the only ones hearing it.
Right. Yeah, I had to write all this down. I was like, it is too many connections, too much connection with my art, and I was just like, let me tap into this live. Let me just tap into this live, see if he'll put some of the pieces together. So
yeah, so yeah, Callie gonna set it off when the time comes. The concert might have been the set off.
I really feel like it was, honestly.
You know, cause Bosco 100. He out there in Cali. He a OG out there, and right after the concert, he couldn't understand why they have a concert for Larry in L.A. But the reason it is because Jay Prince was in cahoots with all of the OGs in California to show the people that the concert can go off without a hitch when you respect the people from the land.
I feel like it didn't even get that much like recognition how I expected it to. Or like, I mean, it wasn't really getting too much.
It got more recognition than they willing to admit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it wasn't enough, or it wasn't a lot of people posting about it or like talking about it too much at first until like it came out. And I feel like that's when. So. But I appreciate everything you know, or everything that you do, everything that you know, everything that you're teaching. It takes courage. It takes a lot of courage. And people don't have the courage to be disliked. So,
yeah, I don't care if they don't like me as long as they take this truth pill.
People be hating the messenger so much that they miss the message. And I stand on that. I always say that. And I respect what you do. So,
yeah. A lot of people don't mind the message. They just hate that I'm the one bringing it.
Or they don't like the way you saying it. Like, just please.
Yeah. I'm not going to be politically correct. Fuck that.
Okay.
The politics ain't correct. So how
I was about to say, what's politically correct?
You know, if you're going to be politically correct, the politics got to be correct. When the politics ain't correct, I'm cussing like Big Mama. Fuck these motherfuckers. They can kiss my motherfucking ass from here to the bank and back. Because sooner or later, they going to feel the wrath of motherfucking mama all up and down their back. Beating their ass out of here with Big Papa Kane.
Man, and it's crazy because my dad always talks about, you know, these things. And it's so funny how things work. Like I hear it from you, or it will register from you, or register from somebody else. But my dad, I'm like, all right, shut up. Like, shut up. Look, but I really need to listen. That's what I'm talking about, my ego. Like, because he really...
And that's one of the things. They had us so intoxicated with the fear of death. We eternal beings. I don't give a fuck. Kill me. That's the worst thing you can do. You can't do nothing no better than that. Yeah, that's the best you got. Well, they didn't already did that.
It's just putting so many other pieces together for me, but I have to go. So I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm going to take another call before I cut out.
Okay.
All right. I might not get to everybody down here. We're going to go Red Lex 7. I think he was next in line.
Hey, what's good, Rob?
What's going on, God?
What's good? Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, okay, well, you know how people say, okay, whatever you did to help people out and stuff like that. Okay, well, you know,
do you know you part Samoan?
I part what?
Samoan.
No, I mean, no, I'm not part Samoan, but like I got the Indian and the French in me.
You got some Samoan in you too. You got some Polynesian island blood.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
Check back three grandmamas ago. I don't know which side. It's looking like mother's side.
Yeah.
But you got some Polynesian because you are heir from that blood. I can see it. You need to get to doing some digging, buddy. But remember this. You might end up in Florida as a Blackfoot, a Crow, because every clan sent somebody to fight in the Seminole Wars.
Okay.
All over.
Yeah.
So that, so when you find your ancestry, if it's tied to the Southeast United States, you probably came from down there to fight in the Seminole Wars in the earlier life. You back for your shit.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, but I was saying, like how people say, what have you done to help people out. I mean, like, well, I try to help people become high vibrational and stuff like that to feel good about themselves and help them not be behind on this on this spiritual stuff. And like, it's like, and then I do motivational music and stuff like that too. Like, is that a good thing? I mean, it's helping people wake up so far.
You always give words of encouragement when possible, but sometimes you're gonna have to tell somebody to kiss your ass. Don't be scared to do that too.
Yeah.
Right. But if you can, it's preferable to encourage and motivate and inform to using the harsh words that you hear me use a lot, because
Yeah.
I'm in a position now where my tolerance is real low for those that come against our people reclaiming their shit. So I'm going to nut the fuck up so y'all don't have to. That's my job.
Okay.
My job is to act a goddamn fool to everybody get their shit. You know? So I'm going to cuss out every motherfucking politician, every motherfucking imposter, seahorse, rogue bitch, and all. I'm going to cuss them all out. Until we get our shit, I'm not going to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
how I
not going to be
feel.
politically correct.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel. I feel the same way. I feel fuck the politics, fuck the police, fuck all that. That's how I feel, because I feel
That
like
ain't got nothing to do with us. They tricked us. Police slave catchers.
yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
they tricked the shit out of us.
that's what I say. I feel like forget all of that. Forget all that, man. Because I feel like we don't need no government. We don't need no president. We don't need none of that.
Man, we was doing this shit before they had a government.
That's what I'm saying. I don't even know why we need that right now. It makes no sense to me. It's
Well,
just,
we need structure.
yeah.
You always have to have a structure, because you got to have a way in order to help more people than people get left behind. Just so happen the structure we under is designed to drag 98% of the people behind.
Yeah.